I might say,
These are the
I
kids.
think regarding Elul, you were a counselor?
Yeah, second year in a row.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
But he knows my name.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
What seminar are we on?
learn before we get to things of Rosh Hashanah. I have three svarim. Is there any more Gimel Dalit?
Wow.
Maybe in the old print. I don't know. I have three.
Given. One given dot.
Or a Dalit I need. We are going to use it just for I want to learn some halachis that are in the back of the Chelik Dalit. Let me see. Found it? There should be in the back of our Hashlama a Siman Tov Kuf Pei Aleph. You found it? Sure. I don't know. I have to take a look where it's printed. It's where the Divin Echemia. They have the thing, Psakim with Divin Echemia. Found the.
Yeah.
See, you found it? Let me take a look. Let me I get you see Hashlama. Okay. Pei Aleph. Found it? Shlama Tav Kuf Pei Aleph. Right, but in the back, in the surface, it should have from the Divin Echemia, he was mashlim the part that was missing. The Siman Tov Kuf Pei Aleph.
Chodesh Elul.
I think it's right there. You pass by something there.
Here also.
We're going to use that in a minute. So, Abayisa, I'm just going to, before we open up the Svarim,
Now we're in Rosh Hashanah, right?
we're going to learn Rosh Hashanah. We're going to learn Rosh Hashanah. Keep it safer. Let me see if I could find it in the motion. Right.
Oh, that's all right. I'll do it now.
There.
Sure.
So we are missing in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch various semanim that were supposedly burned in the fires that went on in the Yadi. So there were different Chassidim, different times of history that tried to sort of make a substitute, the Hashlama, for those sections that were missing.
What?
Right. So they took a few certain sections and they made a Hashlama. So over here we're missing the first siman, which is a siman about Elul. So it's a short siman, Tav Kuf Pei Aleph, So the Rebbe in Shulchan Aruch starts Tov Kuf Pei Beis. We're missing one siman. Talk. We have a short siman. Now the Alter Rebbe's Talmud, the one who wrote the Shuvas Divrei Nechemia, the Nechemia de Bravna. He married a granddaughter of the Alter Rebbe. Alter Rebbe had a son, Reb Chaim Avraham. He married Reb Chaim Avraham's. Alter Rebbe had three children, three boys. One of them was Reb Chaim Avraham. So he married Reb Chaim Avraham's daughter. So he married into the family. And Divrei Nechemia was a very big guy, and he made a few simanim. He made a hashlama to that siman that was missing. So he sort of copied the style of what the Alter Rebbe would write, and he made a hashlama.
Why was missing?
There were fires then in the villages. The village, the shtetl would burn. And they'd have to rebuild.
Alter Rebbe had to run from Napoleon.
And issues, like there was an Hawaii issues that they had in Russia. These issues in the shtetlach. They had no way to contain the fires then. It was very, they would make a line of water from the river. It wasn't so sophisticated.
Trumpet blowers.
But there were various fires, so we're missing a lot of sections. So he made a hashlama. One of the hashlamas that he made was to this siman, the short siman.
Used by now. Oh, how do you know what that Rebbe liked?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He just looked up the paskim and made the sikkum the way it's not the Alter Rebbe. It's not the Alter Rebbe, but he copied the style. The Rebbe one time spoke about it that since the minhag is it's called a hashlama, even though who can make a hashlama for the Alter Rebbe? We're very far away, but Saf Kol Saf, it's a hashlama. We have on just on a few simanim that he wrote. He wrote on Hilchos Chanukah siman, and he wrote on Hilchos Tachnun on siman Kuf Lamed Aleph, and he wrote one siman on Hilchos Lulav, and a siman here on Taf Kuf Ayin Gimel about Tanesim, Megillas Tainus, and then he has about over here on the dinim of Elul. Not many hashlamas that he wrote. That writes like this: the Chodesh Elul, Allah Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, all of Hashalom went up Lahar Sinai, the Kabel Luches Hachroines. Va'amad Sham Mem Yoim. And he was there for 40 days. When the Sats HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael Avon Egel, the Eibishter fully forgave the Yidden the Chait Egel, V'yarad Moshe B'yim Kippur, Moshe Kinani Yim Kippur, V'haluches B'yadei, V'visel Yisrael Shenesratzu L'fnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We let them know that Hashem is now appeased. Obay B'yoim Nemrele Moshe Salachti Kedvarech. I forgave thee like you had asked me. Salachti Kedvarech. And that's what we say, those psukim are what we say right when Yom Kippur enters. We say those psukim of Vayema Hashem Salachti Kedvarecha. V'kavay HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yom Slicha Mechila Doiris. Hashem set up that day as a day of Mechila and Slicha for future generations. Shenemer Kibayom Hazeh Yichaper. On that day will be a forgiveness for you. Okay, Oisan Arboim Yom Chodesh Elul Yom Kippur Heima Yimei Haratzon. All these days of Elul Yom Kippur are days of Ratzon, the days of Hashem Eis Ratzon. Uzman Muchal Tshuva Kol Mashachoto Pogim B'Chol Hashem. So we're coming up to already tomorrow night. It's going to be the Chodesh Elul. So Zman tomorrow night. Zman Muchal Tshuva. So that was the very first Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur was set up on the day the Klal Yisrael was forgiven. That's for the Aveda the Chet Egel, the first Aveda after the first global national Aveda was the Chet Egel after Matan Torah. So our Yom Mechila is on that day. Hashem said that day, now and on, that's always going to be the day.
So we'll make the fast and all the 5 simonim and everything. Hashem said that it's Yom Mechila was 50. But the rabbi came after and then you have to fast.
No, the
you
Torah
have to
itself.
sakal,
The Torah itself. V'nisim es nafshe seichem, ta'anu es nafshe seichem. You have to keep Yom Kippur because this is the day that you're going to get Mechila. You have to keep a tainus.
But the Kodesh Baruch Hu did not say that. He said it's Yom Slicha.
No. The Torah itself says v'nisim es nafshe seichem, but you have to fast. We call nefesh a shaloi se'una. Forgot the pasuk. Avati and nefesh ahi. Hashem was kivei the yoim, and he also what to do on the day. It doesn't say clearly in the Torah all the 5 things. It says v'nisam. Inui. Chum explained that Inui means fasting, and there's also other Inuyim. There's a discussion whether the Inuyim are, all the other Inuyim are Minat Torah, not wearing the shoes, and are those things washing oneself in Minat Torah, or is it their abundant? So, discussion about it. Some Rishonim explain that Masana Kadosh Baruch Hu l'Chacham, the Eibishter gave it over to Chachamim to decide what the Pirush of Yinisa. Now, V'fichach minik hadmoinim v'tzkoya b'shoifer v'chol chodesh Elul v'apoiker acher hatfila k'dei l'oider as the Yisrael sheyasu tshuva. Ki koil ha-shofer goyim lahachet ha'am yipachet Hashem v'hadar ge'oinoi. V'shekosem v'nitaka ha-shofer be'ir v'am le'yichradu. Can a shofer be blown in the city and the nation shall not tremble? The sound of the shofar brings some sort of pachat.
Like to cry.
That's one thing. V'gam ayidei koil shofar mis'arve basatan v'lo yastin al Yisrael ki nisker l'yoyim dinoi la'osid shishiyavulu l'netzach. Through the sound of the shofar, the Satan will become confused, and he won't be able to prosecute against Klal Yisrael. Why? Because he will remember that his day will come, when his job will be over, Sheyivulu l'netzach, and that time when Mashiach will come, a great shofar will be blown. So now when he blows the shofar, he remembers, the sound I'm going to hear eventually. So it shakens him up a bit. It's not so pleasant to hear about Yaskilo Yema Misa. He hears that he's gonna be finished. So this gives him a sort of weakens the stance. V'gam, a third reason why we blow during Elul. The Satan will not know what exactly is Rosh Hashanah. You're blowing the whole time.
It's because we've blown 30 days of Elul and then Rosh Hashanah and then 10 days after. It is confusing.
Yeah. Smach l'minig zeh. Now a leaning for this minig can be found in the pasuk in Tehillim. The siv tiku b'chodesh shofar. The mashma l'tkoya chodesh shalom. It seems you should blow shofar tiku b'chodesh shofar. For 1 month you should blow the shofar b'chodesh. Do we understand it kipshutei that it means tiku b'chodesh in the chiddush of the Levana and the Rish Chodesh? When the Levana is Nischadish, then Tikku b'chodesh shofar, meaning the Rish Chodesh of the beginning of the year, should blow the shofar. Shoshana is the Rish Chodesh.
What day is Rosh Hashanah on this year?
Aleph Tishrei.
Oh,
Shabbos.
there you go.
How about
Shabbos.
the Satan doesn't know how to read calendar?
It's a very good question. There are various svarim discussing your question, if you're asking. Especially since we know that the Satan is a malach.
You know, it's
He's a malach. He's not. We find a similar idea by Shavuos. It says that Satan becomes this Arviv, and then we find this in many different things. We actually don't bench the Chodesh. It says we don't bench Chodesh Tishrei. We don't bench Misha also. Also for this reason.
we mix up,
The Gemara,
mix up this up.
the Gemara also says that we in Tazayin and Rosh Hashanah, that's why we blow Tkiyas Meyushim and Tkiyas Mu'umid.
The Bible does not.
The Rebbe one time spoke about it in a published Sikha. I don't remember exactly what he said, but what the gist of it was that, of course, he knows, but he sees that Yidden are doing so many pu'ulas to have a shana, a good year, so this weakens his stance. The irvav is that Yidden are sitting and blowing shofar a whole month. So that gufa weakens his position. He's trying to tie in the Yidden, they're not zoiche, but look what they're doing. They're going beyond, they're doing extra things. They're going beyond and they're doing things even more. The Gabi not benching the Chodesh, you can't say that because not benching the Chodesh is not doing something. So I think over there the word is that the Yidden are so confident. They're not even benching the Chodesh. They're so confident that everything's going to be good. So that also the Satan, it shakens his stance.
So we don't
The Klai still has the feel that we're Zoiche Bedin and we're
bench the Chodesh this month?
Tishrei, yeah. So Elul we did this past Shabbos. But Tishrei, we're not going to bench it, no.
Or we do.
The Baal Shem Tov said we don't bench it because the Eibishter benches it. And the way how we have a koyach a whole year to bench, because the Eibishter benched it the first month, and that gives us the koyach to bench all the other months of the year. And the deeper reason as to why we don't bench the Chodesh. Baal Shem Tov said that the Alpi Nigla, the reason is that because La'arvim Asatan. Baal Shem Tov said a deeper pshat that the Eibishter benches the first Chodesh, so we don't need to. And with the koyach that the Eibishter benched the first Chodesh, that's the koyach that we have now to go and bench every month of the year. We wouldn't be able to do it without Hashem. Hashem benched the first one, gives the koyach. Malutav, malutav. God, the Torah, the Chukmais and Tovim, the Chachava, Nachas.
It's hinted that when we're correcting asking Tom, it's I guess it's called no.
The Kesa is the kisei, the cover.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that good? From here, that numbers.
You still do Kiddush Levana, right?
Yeah.
This month and next month?
Yeah. Now, Kiddush Havana is a mitzvah say, the Rabbanon. Mixas mekoimes noyegin l'tkoya gam be'erev achat tefillah. Dinas elo ein noyegin kain. In some countries, they have a minute to blow after the Ma'ariv also, or maybe this means after Mincha. In these countries, don't have that minute. I think by Sodom they do, right? They're blowing after Mincha, right? Shachas and Mincha. But not after Ma'ariv.
I have a hard feeling meaning minor.
Do they do after Ma'ariv?
Oh, remember.
Nobody knows me. I can
No, you say the side and do after mincha.
And Shabbos.
And shekels. Twice a day.
Okay, then we'll. So,
Say Medina's Elul in these countries, meaning Europe. In other countries, it's usually Medina's Elul only refers to Europe. Yesh mekoyme shenoyegin lahaskol etzbayim im alaf tirish chodesh. V'chein bedin, ki boy hoyis et akanas hacham v'nishoyim l'tzbayim k'shala Moshe bahar tirish chodesh Elul Eviru shefer b'machane Moshe al har shliyitu oid acha ben tzlichavim k'v'nishoyim shetal v'cheshvan also tzegel. Some mekoymes have the minute to start blowing already the first day of chodesh. Because that first day, that was the day that Moshe went up in the Har. And in that man, in the Midbar, a shofar was blown. So everyone should know when he went up. Not like the first time that there was a mistake in the calculation that made the egel. So everything should be clear. HaKadosh Baruch Hu nis'ala ba'isa shofar shneimar Allah alikim b'sru. Hashem became elevated through that shofar. Now, okay, niskinu chazal shitoikim b'chol shal nashana v'oisi yem hoya alaf l'dish chodesh. Therefore, Chazal enacted that every year we should blow the shofar on the first day of Rosh Chodesh.
Sfadim starts slichot after Rosh Chodesh. Start the whole month.
The first day of Rosh Chodesh, the second day.
Second day.
Kol makim yesh mekoyim shenagol lahaskol etkoyim in Beis Rosh Chodesh. Uvad. V'chein noyigim Medinas Elul only the second day. V'im limches l'shanes haminig ki yesh miyashvin oisoi. Because some explain the minig. So whenever you have a minig and you have a way to explain the minig, we're not mevatel the minig. We allow the minig to continue. Avamakim Chodesh, you come to a new yishuv, a new place. She'ein shamadayim minig yidua, a new settlement. There's no minhagim yet. Yishlekvaya lahaskil v'yoyim Erev Rosh Chodesh. I'm sorry, v'yoyim Aleph Rosh Chodesh. Yeah.
but we don't do it.
What do we do?
Do from your base only. All over the world. Yaman, Shkenan, Sfadim, and that stuff in second.
Yeah, so there's a different minhagim whether you start the first day, the second day. The Erev Rosh Hashanah ain't toikin. And Erev Rosh Hashanah we don't blow shofar, b'chein b'layla shalafanim as well the night before. So here you see actually that seems like when he said earlier be'erev, he meant evening maidav. The lahasik b'tchiyas the minhaga, the tchiyas deraisa. Make a separation. These tkiyas have one status. They're not minatoyer, they're minik. Shoshana is minatoyer. We're not going to put them right close to each other. Make a hecker. Gam kedila arba satan sheyizber shekar avra shoshana. Halkain in l'tzgoya afilu b'beis Islamit. Therefore, another reason is that you should confuse the satan. You should think the shoshana already passed. Oh, they stopped blowing. They stopped blowing already. So he'll stop prosecuting. Therefore, you shouldn't even practice blowing on Rosh Hashanah. Ki im b'cheder sagar, only if you're in a closed room. No one is there. Why in a closed room? I don't know. I never understood it.
Nobody should hear.
What's wrong without window?
That helps for the first reason. But for the second reason, that the mallet, that the Satna should know. So what's going to help if you're in a Cheder Saga, you're not in the Cheder Saga? Before the Cheder Saga is the Iker for the first reason. Now, the first reason is the Iker that you want to make a hecker between Rosh Hashanah
the Rabbanon and the rice.
the rice. So if you do it private in a room, you can practice because no one's gonna. If you do it publicly, no one knows why you're blowing. It looks like if you're doing it private in a private room, so no one hears you.
If you go to the basement, nobody can hear you. Better.
I think in the pasuk it also said in Mecheda Sagar or even mikvah. The earlier pasuk say the mikvah. Where would you find a place that no one was there? They went to the mikvah. Go to the shul, you have to go to the mikvah. Now, over here there's a long pilpul on the bottom from the Divin Nehemiah, and which explains why he feels that when a place where there's no minik, you should be keveya that you should start blowing from the first day of Chodesh. Because it says like this: the idea that we blow shofar during the month of Elul does not say anywhere in Chazal. Chazal don't tell us that we don't say anywhere we should blow shofar during the month of Elul. However, we find that in Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer that Chazal, over there is a Chazal, that Moshe Rabbeinu went up, they blew the shofar, and therefore we should blow the shofar. To remember that the tekiah that was blown when Moshe went up the Har, the 40.
You blew the shofar in the bell.
Huh?
No.
No, the shofar was blown. So he says that how could it be that the some wanted to say that the reason why we only blow from the second day and on, because it says the remes for the minig is tiku b'chodesh, blow in the month. The first day of Chodesh is really shaykhs to Elul, to Av. So says the Divin Nehemiah, this is very hard to understand. This doesn't say anywhere in Chazal this taich in the pasuk. This is a remez that later Achronim said. But we do have a clear Chazal about blowing shofar on the first day of Chodesh. So how could we say that we're gonna miyashiv the minig and say that Tikka b'chodesh only means the actual month and remove the inyan of blowing shofar on the first day? Blowing shofar on the first day is very important. That's clear in Pirkei de Eliezer.
Wait a minute. Actually, the Rabbi Eliezer says it's the first day. What does it say in the Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer?
I don't have it in front of me.
Who says this first day?
That's what he says.
Final Chazal didn't necessarily have first day and second day.
Well, they didn't have a luach yet. Hillel,
No, they had all yeah.
right? But already in the times of Hillel, they changed.
Rabbi Eliezer was a comment.
Also had a calendar.
I don't know. On Kopanim, the way it's set up by us, it comes out that way. So what the Pirkei de Eliezer? 40 days before. 40 days before will always be. It could be it wasn't Rish Chodesh, but it was 40 days before. It was 40 days before. If you count 40 days, Elul's only. 40 days before. That's probably what it says there. I saw it years ago. I didn't see it lately. 40 days before. So the first day of the 40 days. So whenever the first day of the 40 days falls out, the play on our luach, the first day of the 40 days is going to fall out. Yom Aleph of Rish Chodesh Elul.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because Elul is only 29 days. So you're going to have to go back a day. So you're right, a good ha'ara.
And when Moshe went up to Sinai to Hashem, did do every day? Only the first day.
Only the first day. So he says that the first day, that has a real mocker. Blowing the rest of the month doesn't have a mocker in Chazal. Okay, it's a minig that we keep. But you're not going to say that this minig is more important than the first day. The first day has a clear makar. So it should take precedence. So go and tie it. So therefore he feels that a mokim she'ain minig, where there is a minig that they don't blow the first day, okay, they have the minig and that's it. But you're coming to a new mokim, Chodesh, you should be kaveh the menhagim properly. You know, that was one of the reasons why the Vilna Gaon, he wanted to go to Eretz Yisrael, and he turned back. And also he sent his Talmidim to Eretz Yisrael, and they felt that they're going to have a new Yishuv, they're going to create a new Yishuv in Eretz Yisrael. They'll be able to keep Minhagim differently, like the Grad held, that things should be different than the way the Minhagim Ashkenaz. Not so well known, but the Grad didn't keep Minhagi Ashkenaz. He did different minhagim. He had his own minhagim. He had different minhagim. But the Gra didn't. The city of Vilna was the city of Vilna. The Gra was not part of the establishment of the city of Vilna. The Gra was not the official Rav of the Shtat. There was a Rav Abezin. He was the Gadol Hadari, but he wasn't the Rav of the Shtat. And he had his minyan by him and his Talmidim in his klois. So by him, he did things his way. But they had issues because Saf Kosaf, here the Mokim was a Mokim Minik Ashkenaz. And the Gra a lot of times felt things were different, either Api Niga, sometimes Api Kabbalah. He held differently. So one of the ideas was they're going to open up a new yishuv. One of the early machlokes in between Siddim and Misnagdim was whether you can make a new minig, because Siddim were changing minhagim. Can you make a new minig in the same city? So the Siddim said that if we opened up a new shul, then we can open up a new shul. We can make a new minhagim in our shul. And they said, no, the mokim, it's not the shul, it's the mokim. This city has its minhagim. So you can't change the minhagim. This was the...
Didn't make that one.
All right, so this...
And how did the Mitnagdim respond to the stance of the Hasidim once they opened up a new shul?
It wasn't too friendly.
Was it too friendly to
That was years ago. They were
probably
very,
to say the least?
there was very suspicion. There was a lot of suspicion as to which thing.
And it's always making thoughts. They did things differently.
Yeah, they did think differently. And when the Gra was nifter, they made a chayrim by the Levaya that no one should take on his minhagim. They were very worried. It's not so well known, but it's recorded. They were very worried that people are going to just suddenly start changing the minhagim. You know, the Gra came to the Seder, he had 2 matzahs, he didn't have 3. He only had 2 matzahs.
Interesting.
Ad Hayoim, the briskers have 2.
Really?
It's a machlokes mishaynim. But the minik pasha, it's already brought in Shachanara, the minik pasha is 3. But the Vilna Gaon disagreed with that. He held that it doesn't, not lechem, what type of lechem oini is this? That you not only have 2 like a whole year, you have 3.
By the way, on that,
He held like the Iker, like the Yishayim held 2. One of his svaras was that, what type of anius is this? That was one of his svaras. So he held. I'm saying he had various, they say a story that he one time had to go daven in the main shul on Cholamoid. Cholamoid in Ashkenazim wear tefillin on Cholamoid. Minig, the Gra was not to wear tefillin.
really,
And the briskers also don't wear tefillin.
really.
Now, he writes in Shulchan Aruch why. He held that the Iker is like those Rishonim and those sugyas that it comes out that you shouldn't wear tefillin on Cholamoid. By the way, Al Pi Kabbalah, you're also not supposed to wear. Zohar says very harsh things that someone wears tefillin cholamayit. So,
Really?
so that's
Zoya said the Chayav Misa. If somebody wears tefillin chalamoid, Chayav Misa. That's what Zoya says. Like
the
that.
Beis Yosef brings it. The Beis Yosef brings it. So Svardim don't put on tefillin cholamayit. The Ramah writes Ashkenazim do put on tefillin cholamayit. And it's in Rishonim it's a machlokes. The Zohar says not to. In Rishonim you have a machlokes, and the Gra and the Shulchan Aruch explains Al Pi Nigla also why you should that the Iker is you should not wear tefillin. The Maisi one time all Chassidim don't. When he came to go to the official shul on Cholamayid, he had the Sefer take out the parshias from his tefillin. He wore it without the parshias.
Wow.
This way, no one saw. That's insane. They saw he's keeping the minig. I say he was keeping his minig. The Gra. They say the story. Yeah, it's published.
That's a big job. Take it down.
Oh yeah.
That's illegal.
He didn't. It's not written, but that's what they say over the story. That he pulled out his parshias.
You don't want to have it. People should know.
No, he didn't want to change the minig. Be careful that not to. Maybe imagine he was choishish that he's coming. If the Gra is gonna come into the main show without tefillin cholmei, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be a storm. It's gonna become a big thing, right? So
People found out in time they found that
his Talmidim recorded his minhagim. He didn't record his minhagim. His Talmidim recorded a lot of his minhagim. There's a sefer already from Talmid called Meiser Rav, a Chashuv sefer, Meiser Rav, which records the minhagim of the Gra. They actually had a new print a number of years ago. Came out the new print 15 years ago maybe, and there they added in a lot of other things from other Talmidim and different letters.
Was it recorded when he was alive still?
No.
So
So maybe some of the things were recorded when he was alive.
I just have a feeling they didn't know when he was alive. Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Think about it.
Yes, but it shall.
Why don't we?
Yeah. Well, it's important. Hanukkah too.
Right, it's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Well, might say it's not mentioned in Chazal, so it's not a chiyuv midrabanan. It's a minik, not a chiyuv. If it was a chiyuv midrabanan in a chanami, you have to make a bracha. It's
Wow.
only a minik. Sometimes we do make brachas on minhagim. It's not always clear.
Also, another time we got to make the bracha on the shofar is following Yom Kippur. There's one long Tia Gedola, but there's no bracha.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
Is that a minhag also?
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm only asking you a question. Is that a minhag?
That's it's also minik.
The
Yeah.
minhag. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, going back, you spoke about Reb Chaim of Brisk. I learned Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Schneerson got a smicha from Rabbi Chaim of Brisk.
Yeah.
He didn't get Chabad smicha.
It didn't exist though.
Funny.
Saying smicha was taken by a chashuv rav.
Yeah.
He needed also for his rabbanus. The reason why he went to him was because his Rebbe was his cousin, the Rebbe Rashab.
Yeah.
It's his Rebbe. And the Rebbe Rashab told him that, you should go to Bris to get smicha by Reb Chaim. And if he needed to become a Rav, so you need to have smicha for big rabbanim.
And by the way,
After Reb Chaim a smicha,
yeah.
he told him that he's a big Yiddish Shemayim, and if it should be good for you, you should go. And he went there. He had to stay there for a while, Reb Chaim, to get a smicha. He didn't give it out so easy.
I learned it was tremendous opposition, but he couldn't. Reb Chaim saw how brilliant he was in Chasidus and Kabbalah, so he brought him before the Beit for his.
Rebbe Leivik wasn't so happy. Rebbe Chaim wasn't so happy that he was such a head like him.
Yeah.
Was learning Kabbalah and Chassidus
Yeah.
too much. He wanted him to only focus on Nigla.
Yeah.
So he said, Eirab Leivik and Vasilik, like something like this. Like he was such a head.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a head. I forgot the expression exactly, but he was like that. He blurted out that he was so happy with him how he did in the test. If I heard him saying that, if such a head would just be in
Yeah. Tremendous opposition. Yeah.
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 Reb Chaim had a very good yachas with Siddim.
Yeah.
Saying with Chabad, with Siddim in general, Reb Chaim was very big Baal Chesed with Chaim. The Volozhiner dynasty, starting from after the Gra, things changed. I'm saying Reb Chaim Volozhin already, his Talmud Mubak, had a good yachas with Siddim, and he didn't even sign on the Cherem against Siddim. His name was not there. Chaim Volozhiner is the Itchel Volozhiner and the whole Volozhiner Briska dynasty were good yachas with Siddim. His Chaim had a very very good yachas with me. He didn't learn any Siddur, but he had a very good very good relationship with Siddur.
Does it speak about it in this book?
I don't know which book is this.
Hold us in your spot.
The fact that
Muslims were against anything spiritual.
they had no.
They were against Muslims, they were against Kabbalah.
Correct. They did not allow Musar learn in their yeshiva. So the Musar movement came out. Musar movement was a controversial movement, saying that the Litvish yeshivas adayoim. I mean, they held it was bittul Torah. They were not. Not since we only 6 months Torah. We just learn Gemara, and we don't learn it. We're not learning any Musar from Bisol Salant or whoever it might have been. So, Nevardik and other places, Labotka, so they had depends which yeshivas, but in Bris is no Muslim. Unless it's not, everyone has their.
Sorry for taking us off course.
Yeah. They say one time someone brought his 3-year-old boy to the Brisker Rav. Reb Chaim's son was known as the Brisker Rav, Rav Avla. And he brought him with a scissor and he wanted him to cut the hair. So say the Brisker responded, "What am I, a barber?" I didn't look at this whole Tzaddikim, Rebbe, it wasn't that type of thing. No, but not that he has to cut. Not all Litvish cut the hair at 3. Some let it cut earlier. Siddim are very into option.
I know somebody went to a room and into it. And he's gone through it.
Yeah. No, it wasn't more with on the meaning. It was more of the concept that he had to do it.
Yeah, the Rav had to do it. And
Yeah, that's more like a Chassidish thing.
Really?
That you bring to the Rebbe to cut instead of like saying, "What am I, a barber?"
That's funny. Wow.
Rebbe Chaim was different personality than the Brisker. They were very different. I'm saying. Okay. You have a minyan, what did I say?
Yeah. Baruch Hashem.
Have a ksiva v'chasima toiva.
Amen.
גם אתם, שטויח.
Everyone should have whatever they need. Everyone should be healthy.
Amen. Thank you.
Anasa b'archava.
Amen.
Shaduchim.
Amen.
Amen.
Children.
Amen.
Happiness.
Amen.
Ayama.
Amen.
Kayama. Children, like you spoke. Yeah. Bana Zara Chayva Kayama. Nachas. Only good thing.